Good morning, everyone. This is Hunter with Forestry here. I've got you sitting up on my dash on the GoPro here this morning. And let's see, today is Thursday, January 30th, 2025. So we are cruising into the new year, almost a 12th of the way through the year already, which seems wild. We're just flying. I wanted to record a video today to talk about different ways that you can advertise for your tree service business. You know, some of these might also work if you're in the excavation side of things, land clearing, things like that. I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups that talk about excavation business owners and tree service business owners and entrepreneurs. And I see this time of year, like many folks do, I see a lot of questions on, oh, my leads have dried up. You know, how do you advertise? What do you guys do to bring in more leads? And it's not really a winter problem. You know, that is something you should be marketing and advertising year round. And I'm no guru in the matter. We have just finished our 3rd season in business. We're going to be starting our 4th season here in business in a couple of months. And I just wanted to record a video just to talk about some of the things I've done, some of the things I've seen success in. I really haven't done anything that's hurt us, just some things I've done have been more successful or brought in more revenue than others. You know, so if you're in your first few years of business, anywhere between $0 and a few $100,000, you know, when you're looking for different ways to advertise or market yourself, this video's for you. So put it on in the background, do your office work, drive to the job site in the morning, sip your cup of coffee, whatever it is you like to do, and we'll get into it. I'm no guru. I don't have anything special. I don't have notes. I'm just going to talk about some of the things I've done. So the first one that I'll bring up is business cards on all of the billboards at gas stations. I know it might seem like a very simple thing, and you know, maybe a million people do it and your business cards are going to get buried on the billboard. Who cares? I put out, every time I stop anywhere, I put out a little flyer. I ordered little flyers to hang up on the billboards that catches people's attention. They're bright orange. And then I tack 3 or 5 business cards on there with the flyer. So people can see the flyer, they can read about us, what we offer, what we do, and then they can take a business card if they want. We go through those things like crazy. There's one gas station in particular that they're just flying off the board all the time. And we've gotten, I'd venture to guess we've probably gotten $70,000 from that one gas station billboard. There's a couple of $10,000 projects I can think of on my top of my head right now. That, oh yeah, we were just looking and we saw your name there at the gas station and we grabbed a card and figured we'd give a call. Great. Like, how awesome is that? You can't get any cheaper and easier than putting out a few dollars worth of business cards every time you drive by. You know, make a point to gas up at different locations. So I kind of spread the love of where I spend my money in local businesses. You know, sometimes I'll go out to eat at one restaurant and I'll hang business cards there. And then, you know, maybe the next week when the wife and I go out, we'll go out to eat at a different spot and we hang business cards there. Same thing goes for gas stations. You know, I put on maybe 40 to 50,000 miles a year, so I'm gassing up a lot. I'll stop, you know, one day at a gas station on the north end of our range of our service area, and then maybe the next day I'll try to hit one in the middle, and by the end of the week I'll try to hit another one at the south end of our service range for our business. So kind of spread things out, and you'll probably see really good luck from that. You know, you can just hang regular business cards, but I find higher success in the gas stations where there's room for us to hang a flyer. The flyer catches people's attention, and we just put some generic little headline, you know, like, let us help you with, and then I list a few bullet points of some of the things we can help you with. A dead tree over your house, you know, fire-wise, fire prevention around your cabin, and just, you know, kind of catch your attention with that. So that has been by far probably one of the largest helps. The next largest thing that I've seen definitely help, which is right up there with business cards on billboards, is yard signs. We put out yard signs everywhere. There's some divided opinions on this. There's a lot of folks that say yard signs will cheapen your brand, and I do agree with that. I think that when you go plaster yard signs at every intersection corner, you give off, I don't know, more of a cheaper or a desperate look. And that, I do agree with that. Folks say that, and that's their reasoning for not putting up. I do agree with that, but I plaster my yard signs everywhere. Come springtime, as soon as the snow melts, we're in northern Minnesota and we get hammered with snow. As soon as the snow melts, I go out and at every intersection of the areas that we typically work, I just throw up our bright orange yard signs. I order 100 at a time, and they probably last me about a year and a half at that rate. I started by ordering 25 at a time. I found that I would put those out, you know, in half a year. So now I'm guessing we put out maybe 50 a year, 40 or 50 yard signs a year. And well, yes, it may appear, you know, like a cheap tactic, and yes, there is some upkeep because they'll get mowed over in the ditch, and you don't want your yard sign sitting there mowed over looking like you're just littering. So we'll go back then and pick them up when they get mowed over, or reposition them when the grass grows around them, or whatever, you know. So there's some maintenance with it, but if you're throwing them out on your routes when you're going to quotes or you're going to or from a job, you have a few extra minutes, throw some out. You know, usually I try to schedule my quotes further apart, so I have 20 minutes to kill in between. You know, showing up 10 minutes early to a quote is great, but you don't want to show up half an hour early, you know. So take that time and stop at the intersections on the roads as you're driving to your next quote. Throw up yard signs. Just make a day out of it. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of extra time and money if you're doing it going to and from places. So that's been a big help. I'd say that was the next best thing that we've done for our business. Let me see here. What else have we done? We've done EDDM, every door direct mail. Some people are hit or miss with this, and I notice we are too. I think it's great, but the problem is that I think you have to send them out in large enough quantities. We do a few hundred at a time because every door direct mail only works, can only go to on the mail route if they accept mail, or if they have, you know, a mailbox or mail delivery there. So a lot of our customers are seasonals. There's a lot of cabins around here. So while there's a denser population in the summertime and more folks to reach, every door direct mail doesn't go to most cabin owners because most cabin owners do not get mail at their cabin. So in order to have that be successful, you know, you would have to mail them something down to their permanent address, which clearly, you know, I'm not going to sit there and look at every permanent address for every cabin and track it down. Maybe there's an easier way to do it, but we've had mixed results with that. It works, but it doesn't seem to be super high return for us. But with that being said, you know, I'll spend $700, less than $1,000 usually each time, I think, and we've done a couple campaigns of every door direct mail, and each time we do pick up a job or two. So, you know, if you spend $700 and you sell, you know, $5,000 worth of work, yeah, you're still making money, but it's tough unless you're unless you're gonna make, you know, more sales off that. That's really into your profit margins. You know, you get jobs, but I don't know. So I haven't figured that one out completely yet. You know, I've been super happy with it in the fact that it gets our name and number out there a lot. One thing that I'm sort of learning how to track and struggling a little bit with, but learning more. I gotta turn my GPS on here. Is a lot of times when you send out an advertisement, they're not always going to call you immediately. And what I found is we've had calls from customers that didn't call us because they got our every door direct mail, but they have our every door direct mail saved in their junk drawer. And they also have, we send out magnets. We're part of one of those companies that advertises. They get a bunch of businesses together, plaster your ad on a magnet, and send it out for free to everyone in the mailing address. Anyways, we do that as well, and we go into their home to get paid from this job or to do the estimate and talk to them, and we'll see our every door direct mail sitting in, you know, with a pile of other flyers that they've received, and we'll see our advertisement on their magnet sitting on the inside of their door or their walkway. So I don't know if it's more so about selling every job with everything you do, but more so just hammering the customers so many times where they're going to notice you after they see you half a dozen times, you know? So for that, I think we're going to continue to do it in the future. I think we've done one campaign every year that we've been in business. I think we've done 3 of them, usually in the spring to kind of kickstart you know, get the leads rolling in for the spring. As soon as the snow starts to look like it's melting and we're not going to get any more, then we'll send one out to kind of get people thinking about trimming their trees, or, you know, putting that trail through their woods they wanted, or whatever. So yeah, that's been a help. I wish I had solid numbers for you guys, but I would definitely try it, and maybe try to record your results on that. Just track it. Knowledge is power. Another thing that's worked great for us has been door hangers. As I said, we have a lot of seasonal customers up here. So during the winter, our phone essentially stops ringing altogether. You know, I imagine maybe in the city that you at least get some calls that trickle in during winter. Granted, not a lot of people are thinking about tree work in the winter, but I would imagine you at least get some. During the winter, our phone is essentially useless. It's just quiet. You know, if we get one lead a month, that's a busy month during the winter. That's pretty much December, January, February, and then the phone starts ringing again maybe mid to late March. But what I do during the winter time, and I haven't done it this year, I've been surprisingly busy, but what I do during the winter time is I get a ton of door hangers, and I will go down a road that I know has a lot of cabins, or I know we've worked at before, and I'll just grab the door hangers, a big stack of them, and I'll trudge through the snow up to every customer's house. And every customer or every resident, I will hang a door hanger on. And you know, you're gonna put in a lot of work, but the cost isn't that much. You know, you can do that for a week and cover a huge area, and you know, maybe spend $100 in fuel if you're driving the pickup around for a week, and you know, spend another few $100s on door hangers, and that's it. You only have your own labor on that. And that's kind of been one way that I've utilized the slow season, and I can personally speak to a lot of success on that, because well, we've got some jobs that trickle in from that. We also have ones where, okay, you know, it might only be one little tree trimming that's a couple $100s, and we didn't really make any money by the time we take into account the door hanger, the time I went to drive there, the time I went to the quote, the time we went to actually go do the work. But that little $200 job referred us to a neighbor. That neighbor was a $5,000 job. That neighbor referred us to the next door neighbor as we were working. That was a $2,000 job. And pretty soon, it just happens like an avalanche, all because you put that one door hanger up at the right customer's house. He invited you into work, saw you did great work, he referred you to the neighbors, and it just kept rolling from there. So I try to balance not getting sad when I don't get one job, because it's just one job. But at the same point in time, I realize how important every job is at this stage of business, because one job can turn into 3, can turn into 5, can turn into 10 very quickly. So I kind of remind myself of that whenever we have some of those really tiny jobs that we just aim to break even on. I just kind of look at it as, well, that's just more advertising for us. So those have been the big ones that are super active. More of an active style of advertising. More passive has been a local newspaper ad. We don't even pay for like a big color ad that you see, you know, kind of plastered within the articles. What we do is we put a $5 service ad in. So on our local newspaper that comes from our electric co-op, it goes out to all of the customers that receive electricity from that co-op, which is essentially our service area. And what that newspaper does is it goes to everyone's mailing address. So even the cabin owners that have a cabin up here, they still get that newspaper sent to their permanent address in the cities or out of state, or, you know, wherever they may be located. If they're in Arizona or Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Florida, it can still, that newspaper gets sent to their mailing address. So I try to capitalize on that, and we just run a little $5 service ad in that newspaper, and it works great. You know, we have a number of people that say, yep, you know, we were looking through, we were looking for someone to do this tree removal for us. We were looking through the Watts News. Like, that's awesome, because a lot of that customer base is a little bit older, and they don't always, not always, you know, they're starting to now, kind of the generation is shifting a little bit more towards the use of phones and computers, but some of that older age base, they're not jumping on their phone and going to Google and typing tree service near me. They're going into their local newspaper and looking at the services section to see who they can call to have a tree removed. You know, they're going to the phone book to look at who they can call to have a tree removed. So yeah, that's kind of how we've utilized that, and it's worked out really well for us. For, you know, what is that, $60 a year to run it for 12 months? We will forever continue to run that ad, and just leave it in there till the day I die. On the phone book note, that's one thing we haven't done yet. I've actually exchanged emails with the advertising guy for the phone book in our area. We are not listed in the phone book, and I know that's a mistake. I've just, you know, it's one of those things you put on the back burner, like, nobody uses a phone book anymore, you know. We'll do that later. I'll take care of it next winter. And I've said that for 2-3 winters now. I'll take care of it next winter. So I finally have to do that, because I've been told by 2 customers they've looked for us in the phone book and they cannot find us, and that is too many. We did still end up getting those customers. They contacted us through other means, but they were actively looking to spend money with us, and they could not find us where they were looking. And to me, that's a really, really big red flag. If customers are struggling to find you, that's an issue. You're gonna lose out money, because while they're looking for you, your competitor is gonna be easier to spot, and they're gonna steal your business. So that's my little words of wisdom. On that note, on the being found, I gotta get some water. Happens when I talk too much. On that note, on your business being found, please, for the love of all that is holy in our Lord and Savior Jesus, would you get yourself set up with a website and a Google My Business profile? Those things are huge. Now, none of these things that I talk about are going to be make or break, obviously. There are plenty of businesses that survive without these. A local excavation company near us, for example, they are freaking huge. They stay very busy. They do a very high quality of work. They charge a premium price, and they just stay busy all day long. They're always looking for more dump truck drivers. They're always looking for more laborers. They're always busy, which is great. They do not have an online presence. You do not find them on Facebook. You do not find them on Google Maps. You search them and you have a hard time finding a phone number to call them at. Like, they are just hard to find. But they are old, and they're old school, and they just continue to survive because they've built that up over many, many, many years. And if that's your business, great. You probably have no business watching this video, you know, unless you're trying to grow and change. Then maybe you ended up here. But, you know, if you're that business, good for you. I'm just stoked for you. But for all us young bucks, you know, that are less than 10 years in business, we need to work harder than that. We can't just expect the leads to come word of mouth and grow a company 50% year over year over year over year. It's just not going to happen. So I found that the Google My Business profile online has been a huge help. You go in, you get that set up, you make sure your business shows up on Google Maps and Google search results. And you want to go in and get yourself reviews. You want to make sure that your reviews are being listed on there, because Google likes that. The more Google likes you, the more people Google shows your business to when they search. So go in, get reviews, add pictures, add questions and answers, add good description about your services and your at a service area, and just spend time perfecting that, but then also keeping it updated. Constantly go on there, add pictures, add updates. It's work. It's all work. But when you do that, man, does it just help out tenfold. When customers can find you and you show up in their results, man, your life gets a lot easier and leads start coming in more plentiful. A website is going to be great, because that's also going to generate leads for you. A lot of customers, and I'm not going to speak for all of them, but there are some customers that don't have Facebook. some of that older generation does not have Facebook, or they're not super tech savvy, but they do understand about a website. They do understand how to use a website. So, they might find your Google My Business if they're searching online, or they might find your website might pop up when they search for tree services near me. As soon as your website is actually established for a few years, and again, it's constantly updated with pictures and the correct words, so you're showing up in search engines and all that fun stuff, which I'm not a genius in, you'll start to get organic leads from your website as well. People are going to say, hey, I searched for a company near me to do this wildlife habitat project, and you popped up, and here's what we're looking for. Okay, are you interested in coming out to talk with us about this? Those are the kind of organic leads that I get from my website. And the website's only been around 3-4 years now, so it's not huge. I'm not saying we have multiple leads rolling in a day, but we do have consistently during the summer, I would say, one solid lead a week coming directly from our website that did not come from Google or did not come from an ad somewhere else, that they looked up on the internet and they found us. So we're looking at maybe 3 or 4 a month, which isn't a lot, but if you have a 75% close ratio, that's 2-3 jobs a month. Say those are a couple $1,000s each, it's a good chunk of change by the end of the year. So each little piece, kind of adds in. Same thing for the Google My Business page. That generates a lot of leads for us, because folks will jump on Google Maps or Google search engine, and they will search for tree services near me, and if yours is well ranked, you will be one of the top contributors or one of the top results. And you might not be the top result. In fact, you probably won't be for quite some time, but if they call the top 1 or 2 or 3 results, they're going to end up calling you when those guys don't call them back. We have gotten a lot of business from people that say, oh yeah, I called your competitor X and he didn't call me back, so now I'm calling you. Or I called your competitor Y and he was supposed to come out and he never showed up. We get so many leads that way. So even if you're not tippy top, don't sweat it. Just keep your good customer service up and keep showing up in results, put the work in, and you're going to get those leads. Oh, what else? We've talked about business cards. We've talked about business cards and flyers at gas stations. We've talked about yard signs. We've talked about door hangers. We've talked about every door direct mail. We've talked about your website and your Google My Business. We've talked about phone books. Again, I don't have a lot of expertise to offer in that, but we did talk about it. The other thing that I'm not super well versed in, and maybe the YouTube universe will be able to help me out on this, is what's it called? Apple Maps. How to show up on Apple Maps. I am just struggling with that. I tried last winter to get my business on Apple Maps, and it didn't like it for some reason. It said, oh, we only show businesses with like a fixed address or a permanent address or something. Okay, I'll try again later. I tried for my wife's phone because she's got Apple products. It told her the same thing. So now I'm going through the steps of creating an Apple ID, and then supposedly I'll be able to go in like the Apple Business Center or something and register that my business exists and get it to show up on Apple Maps. I have no idea, but right now it's telling me that, oh, all my emails are taken, so I can't create an Apple ID, and I can't register my phone number with the Apple ID, and it just fights me. So I have no idea. I'm waiting to get an email back from them about why this is so difficult for me. I'm not super tech savvy, but I really would like to get my business to show up on Apple Maps, because although it's not as popular as Google Maps, I'm sure there are still customers that go into Apple Maps and search for tree services near me. I'm sure that's leads that I could be gaining that I am missing out on. So I'm trying really hard to get that set up. Hopefully by the end of the winter I will. But that's kind of one of my little works in progress right now. Other than that, I think that is all of the... Oh, I'm forgetting some. I knew I'd forget some. Facebook leads. You can boost a Facebook post, or you can create an actual ad, and obviously that ties in with social media in general. I can't believe I forgot about social media. God, you guys are gonna You're gonna slander my name when I almost forgot about social media. Facebook has been really good for us. Again, all of these things that I'm talking about, they are a time commitment. If you think you're going to create a Facebook page, add a bunch of pictures, post once a week saying we offer these services, forget it. You just might as well take your time and flush it down the damn toilet, because that's not what Facebook is for, and it's not going to work that way at all. How you want to use social media is you want to create content. You want to constantly be putting things out. They don't have to be entertaining. They could be entertaining, educational. Sure, they could be promotional. That's why we're doing it, you know? But you don't just want to jump on there and say, hey, give us a call at da-da-da-da-da for window repair, you know, for tree removal, for, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Sure, that's a great thing when you first create your page, or, you know, as a reminder every once in a while. But if you think you're just going to advertise on your on your Facebook page and get leads rolling in, you're mistaken. The proper way that you're going to want to use social media is you're going to want to create content, and you're going to want to build a following. So when I create content for my Facebook page, it's very small, you know, compared to other big companies. We have like 300 followers on Facebook. But what's really great about that is because we have 300 followers, when we make a cool video, it gets shared. When we have a neat picture, it gets shared. When we have an educational post, it gets shared. And all those people that share it, they share it to their friends, and then their friends see that. And even if you're not selling jobs, you know, like that directly on the spot when you're posting on Facebook, you are spreading awareness of your company, and you're getting new eyeballs to look at your business. Whether you realize it or not, that social media account is working for you while you're sleeping. What I like to do is I upload videos and pictures and stuff. I use Facebook Business Suite, so you can go in and manage your social media pages, your Instagram, your Facebook. And I'll go through in the one evening and I'll load up a bunch of posts to be automatically posted throughout the week. During the summer, when we're really busy, I have a lot more content, so maybe I'll post every day or every other day. During the winter, I aim for a couple times a week because we're not doing a lot. There's only so many pictures I want to post of dragging a dumpster full of trees or garbage somewhere and getting rid of it, you know? So that's kind of how I handle that, is I try to post at least a couple times during the week, during the winter. Sometimes I'll go back way in the archives and I'll find pictures and videos that I was just too busy to post. Or I'll kind of do a throwback and, you know, talk about what the weather was like during the summer and we're working on this project. Or I might share, like, I'm in Minnesota, so I follow the Minnesota DNR and some other wildlife pages through my business Facebook page. I might share some educational content with them. The Minnesota DNR made a post the other day about tree trimming in winter and the healthier trees. I shared that because it's educational. And guess what? It didn't get a lot of likes, didn't get a lot of eyeballs, but a couple people did look at it and a couple people shared it, you know? So it's just about kind of that snowball effect of growing all of those eyeballs looking at your content. And we still pick up followers. We've been slowly gaining followers on our business Facebook page since day one. And people now, when customers call us, they will say, hey, I was recommended to you by so-and-so, and I looked through your Facebook page and I saw this and I thought it was really cool. That's exactly what I need. Like, how freaking awesome is that, you know? It's just living, breathing proof of you do this kind of work, you get this kind of result, and it builds trust with your customers before they ever get on the phone with you. You know, a referral from a past customer, a family, or a friend is amazing, but if you can back that up with hard evidence of the work you've already done that's exactly like the work they need, you just multiply your trust level. And not that we're all out to rob everyone of their house and home on the dollar value. When you build that trust, your estimates get accepted faster for a higher price because they know you're bringing a higher value to the table. Do I have research to back that up? No. But I can tell you that after 3 years of doing this, that I'm finally getting the feel for when the customers trust us going into the process and when we're going to be able to close that deal faster with less hassle and allow them to just be happier customers. And I feel like our social media presence and our Google presence and our website presence all build that trust well before we get on that customer's property. They're going to do their homework on you. 9 times out of 10, they will creep on all of your stuff. And you want it to be good things that they find. So that's my little social media rant. I've had super duper success in that. We are very small. I service a very wide area with a not high population range, probably compared to some other tree services. We cover the entire northern half of a gigantic county in northern Minnesota. We have to do that because the population spreads so thin, at least at this point in our business. Eventually, maybe we could shrink that service area a little bit, but we have to stay wide right now with the lack of people. And one thing that helps with that is our social media. That just helps cover that whole area, and people find us from 45 minutes away, which is great. So now I think that is everything that I have to rant about. I hope this helped. You know, I'm sure I forgot things. I didn't write things down. I didn't take notes. I just flipped the camera, threw it on the dash, and figured I'd talk on my drive today. Be something useful. So if there are things I forgot, please, please, please in the comments add them, because if you or anyone watching this video is anything like me before I started my business, or when I was in the growing stages of my business, I found a video like this, watched it, took notes on it, and read through the comments to see what people were saying they had success with or didn't have success with. So please, if you're a 10-year business owner and you're like, man, this stuff is laughable, post what you've had really good comment what you've had really good success with, what you agree or disagree with. Be careful, I'm fragile, you're hurting my feelings. No, you're fine. Go ahead and rat on me if you think I'm way off base on some stuff, because what works for me might not work for other people. What works for other people might not work for me. Every business is different. Every personality of every business owner is different, so do what works best for you. But anyways, please, please, please throw some comments down there about what's worked well for you, because this is meant to be an educational video, hopefully to shorten the learning curve of somebody that's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in business and just seems to be struggling. I'm sure it's a help to somebody out there. So share your knowledge. That's what it's all about. Other than that, if you have any questions or comments, it was kind of fun. We've gotten a message on Facebook and an email about a couple of guys that are wanting to start businesses, and they're nowhere near in my service area. Even if they were, I wouldn't care. But and just asking, you know, general questions about things and starting the business and what I'd recommend. And I, again, am not a know-it-all. You do not want to model your life after me, but you know, if I can help shorten someone else's learning curve, then that's awesome. That just makes the world up to me. So anyways, thanks guys. Hope this video stayed in focused and stayed pointed the right way. We've been on a bumpy highway this entire time, but thanks for tuning in. If you like this, please drop us a like and a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm just spending some time building up our YouTube channel. I would love for our customers to be able to scroll through and see videos of us and what my company is all about, and kind of see that I'm trying to do some good out there, you know? So I think this would be great if eventually I could build the YouTube following just like we've built our Facebook following and our website and our Google, and just one more avenue for customers to find us on and build trust with. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, I'd appreciate it a ton. Take care, be safe. Thank you so much for your support and watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.